Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Jeeves. I'm your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge here on the World Music Reaction and Review. I am doing, first time on this channel, an artist from Ukraine, and her name is KAZKA. I actually have done artists from the Ukraine before. However, on my other channel, the heavy metal rock and roll, I have done quite a few of a band called Ginger, which is absolutely probably one of the most incredibly musically talented heavy metal. I don't know what the subgenres are. It's just, they're so incredible. Maybe just out of curiosity, if you support artists from Ukraine, I'll leave a link down below so you can see some of them if you're not familiar. I'm sure you're familiar with them if you're from the Ukraine, but if you're not, just an absolutely mesmerizing band. Anyhow, but this is about KAZKA. So I did a little bit of research from the Ukraine, and she has a very successful YouTube channel. I'll be sure to put this video link down below as well. So let's do this. Thank you very much for your support. Let's listen to a little KAZKA, and the song is called I'm Not Okay. All right.
Putin chose this war.
Україна захищається і не віддасть свої свободи.
Заспіваю тобі пісню я про життя між до і пісня. Зранку і в годину пізню я ніжна, сильна твоя. Вдих, видих, спалах, вибух, серце палає, приймаю бій, Боже, зможу, отут кожен свій. No, I'm not okay. It's 4 in the morning and I'm wide awake. Sister, I'm just trying to take it day by day. Grateful for the fact that I still see your face. Hey. No, I'm not okay. It's 4 in the morning and I'm getting no rest. Sister, I'm just doing everything I can. Yeah, I'm on my way, I'm gonna see your face. Hey.
Well, this is when the power of music really shows its veracity, you know. But I'm going to save a soulful, you know, human, let's say, human element reaction after the video. I do want to talk about the music, even though the music is, compared to the message, the lesser of the emotion in this. And of course, watching the video, I had to stop and just say, hang on, listen to the music, because that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but you can't help but be affected by the truth and the dark side of our species. Anyhow, when it opened up with her inside the room singing in a hall, it kind of reminds me of how I have in the past been in a parking lot or something with a long reverb, and I've sing a little bit, or you know, people who are singers in general, when you get that opportunity and you're in a place by yourself, and you know, so I thought at first, oh, this is great. She's gonna start the song off with this, but once again, when the video started with all the stuff, I got a little, it switches the emotion up. What I really caught on first is that sequence, I don't know, that's not the right notes, but the sequence that's playing back there has what we call a compression pulse to it that is in tempo. Whoa, whoa, whoa. And you can feel that compression in there. I've always loved that kind of work in songs. A lot of times, most of the time, it's all in EDM in general that I've ever heard it. I don't know every genre. I don't know everything, far from it. But anytime I've ever heard that kind of pulsating kind of vibe, it's always had to do with some kind of EDM. And then when the bass comes in, that's kind of an old school bass sound that's happening there, and that does remind me, though I have very little experience with like the club, the first round of what I might call European club sound. But it's really cool because it's not right here in your face, a little mono signal. It's kind of fat and split. So, and then of course, as what we're hearing too, is that there are only these 4 chords that are being cycled through the song. And so what's happening is now is we're hearing a build of arrangements and stuff until we got to the hook, which is "I'm not okay." Is that, yeah? I am not okay. And of course the lyrics in the front, I don't know what she's saying. Obviously, I don't speak Ukraine, but the message is there. She has a great voice. I love the subtlety to her voice. I'm sure right now this is a very emotional song. There's other aspects of her voice that I'll listen to a little later, but. For as heavy as a message as this is, the hook is very catchy, so I look forward to what's coming up. And also, right before I stopped, they had that hard little sequence and that turnaround. It sounded like an overdriven dulcimer type of kind of thing that happened there. So I'm gonna take it back a little bit here and let's keep going.
Заспіваю тобі пісню я про розірване намисто, береже молитва місто, ніжна, сильна моя. Вдих, видих, був, вибув, швидкі обійми, не час для мрій, але ж зможу бути кожен.
Ну, твою мать, Лятя, ну летит сюда.
Блядь!
No, I'm not okay. It's 4 in the morning and I'm wide awake. Sister, I'm just trying to take it day by day. Grateful for the fact that I still see your face. Hey. No, I'm not okay. It's 4 in the morning and I can't no rest. Sister, I'm just doing everything I can. Yeah, I'm on my way, I'm gonna see your face. Hey. Pray for Ukraine. Pray for Ukraine now, Ukraine now.
What? Oh, I think there's probably something after this. She's probably doing some kind of. I'm sorry, I stopped, but I'll make sure the link is down below, and so you can finish this up. Something else that they used in production that I thought was really cool, and I feel weird about actually talking about a musical reaction in something this heavy, but there is a reverse use of voices. Now, I can't tell if it's an actual word or something that is rhythmically, strategically placed in certain areas. It happened more, or it was more audible at the beginning. This kind of reverse use of, I don't know if it's like I said, a part of a voice that was just kind of sculpted and affected. Oh, I'm going to sneeze. And so that was very cool. The arrangement and the layers were very sparse, but that's perfectly wonderful in this style of music too, because the vocalist in this case, compared to let's say heavy metal and other stuff that I listen to, the melody, the vocals, and the mix are always very much up front. They take center stage. Where in metal and some of the things that I listen to on the other channel kind of bowls out the other way around. There's a lot about the instrumentation. I'm so sorry, excuse me. Instrumentation. And the vocals kind of sit in a pocket, still audible in most cases. But in this case, with this style of music, the vocals out front, doesn't need a lot to happen here. But the structure of the song in pulling and adding arrangements or harmonies still is probably the more predominant part of the song because it does repeat those four phrases. In most cases, now as I remember, I'm thinking because this is something like this. I very rarely come across something like this where my brain's doing two things at once. It's kind of just all caught up with the video and the emotion of what that is, and then the music. But that is the power of music to tell stories about humanity. That is what music started off to be. Now, I'm not a music historian in any sense of the phrase, but from what I remember the days from caveman days, percussive and you talk story through music, you sing. It's been a tribal thing that music is such a powerful part of storytelling and teaching lessons or celebration or telling the world, which today's day and age compared to when maybe she's in her 20s. When I was in the 20s, there were no music, they started, in music videos, but it was not about that. Now in today's day and age, you can do videos, and it's nothing new too, because there's a lot of videos out there that have to do with environmental destruction and politics. It's a very big thing. This is just really heavy, and as far as my thoughts about what's happening in Ukraine and other parts of the world that have to deal with some person somewhere says that's mine and I'm taking it no matter what and what cost. That's the dark side of our species as humans. It does exist. That heaviness, that ugliness, war has been a part of our story since caveman days. I'm going to have a war with that other caveman because he has a bigger cave or whatever, and it's such a dark part of what exists in humanity, and it's just crushing to see something like this, or anywhere that I've seen. And throughout my life, I'm 60 years old. I've seen my share of pretty heavy conflicts, and so it's just heartbreaking. So anyhow, this turned out to be a hell of a lot different of a reaction. I'm sure most of you guys already faded out by now, but if you're still here, type in "I'm still here." You take care of yourself, and KAZKA, my heart's with you and everything that's happening out there. All right, guys, take care. Aloha.